Well, good evening, everybody. I think everybody's in the house. And any stragglers out the back? We're good. Well, welcome to the Parabola Arts Centre here in Cheltenham, and thank you for coming and supporting the local Cheltenham Green Party. Clearly, one of the reasons you've come tonight is to hear Caroline and to hear Jonathan, but I have got two asks of you before we get going and before I waffle on a little bit too much. The first is we're going to have some question and answers probably halfway through the evening, so please, as you start hearing what we're talking about, think about your questions. It's meant to be quite an interactive session. We want your engagement, we want your feedback, so come up with some very good questions, if you don't mind, throughout the evening. The second big ask is that this is all leading up. This is one of the reasons we're holding this event, is we're leading up to elections next year. We've got elections here in Cheltenham, we've got elections in Gloucester, and we've got elections in Stroud taking place in May. And we're going to need support to really do well in those elections. We've got a great chance. In Stroud, we've got a chance to become the biggest party and have a working majority in Stroud. In Cheltenham, we're aiming to become the main opposition party and push the Conservatives into third. Very realistic chance of doing that. And in Gloucester, we very much hope to win our first Green councillor. Now, to do that, we need one of three things. First of all, we need volunteers to help us. That means maybe a bit of leafleting, maybe a bit of phone calls. It may well be a bit of door knocking. But we also need some candidates, and we need some funds. One of the reasons we charge for this event tonight is to help with that fundraising process. But ultimately, we as a party are starting with far further back than a lot of the other parties we're competing against. So we really need a bit of a help to lift, and we've got a great opportunity to do really well. In Gloucestershire, as a reminder, one of our leading counties in the country for Green councillors now, we've got 37 district councillors. We're the biggest party in the Forest of Dean, and we've got some of the Forest of Dean team here tonight. Shout out to the Forest of Dean. And significantly bigger than any other party in the Forest of Dean, it should be said. In Stroud, we're leading the coalition in Stroud with 14 councillors. I'm going to get that right, 14, 15 councillors in Stroud. Here in Cheltenham, we won our first 2 councillors last year, so shout out to Wendy and Tabby, who are here with us tonight. Cotswolds, we've got 2 councillors. Tewkesbury went from 1 to 4. Shout out to Tewkesbury. Earlier this year, an actual fact, but we probably could have done a lot more in Tewkesbury if we'd stood in the places we wanted to stand in, because actual fact, the tide was turning. We could have done more. So we just need more volunteers, more candidates, more money. So on your seats, you will have found a little postcard. I've got that here, which of course has got a very nice person on the front of it and a signature from Caroline. We thank you for that. But it's also got a QR code. And here's my other ask of the evening. Please scan the QR code. If you can volunteer, if you can donate, if you can do whatever you can do or want to become a candidate, then please scan the QR code, give us your details, we'll be in touch with you, we'll have a coffee, we'll work out what we can do together, but we need lots more volunteers. And we need lots more money and we need lots more candidates. So please do that. Please also share it, take it away, share it with your friends and family, because if we can start creating a bit of a groundswell in a place like Cheltenham and a place like Stroud, as they've already done in the Forest of Dean, then we can really achieve great things. County council elections come up in 2025. Today we've got 4 county councillors. Some of them are here tonight as well. The Tories have a working majority there at the moment, but that doesn't need to stay that way. There's a good chance to win a lot more Green county councillors. Certainly we'll be pushing for that here in Cheltenham as well. In 2025, and I know other parts of the Cotswolds and Gloucestershire will be doing the same. So it's a really exciting time to be in Gloucestershire. It's a really exciting time to be, well, it's always exciting to be in Gloucestershire, but it's a really exciting time to be in the Green Party in Gloucestershire because there's a lot going on. So please, we need your help. Right, so I'm reading Caroline's notes, so that's not going to help, is it? Just a point to say, people in Cheltenham, I don't know how many people are actually from Cheltenham here tonight, but Cheltenham's been a bit of a binary 2-party state for many years, and it's not because people either love the Conservatives or love the Lib Dems. Typically you find Lib Dem voters because they hate the Conservatives, and people voting Conservatives who don't like the Lib Dem local council. Boots Corner springs to mind, for instance. So it's not much of a choice. In fact, so little choice, and we didn't stand in 2019, we stepped aside, Tabby stepped aside to try and help the Conservatives, help the Lib Dems to defeat the Conservatives. Lib Dems failed miserably, and actually we let down a lot of our Green Party members who had nowhere to vote, me included. It was the first election I spoiled my ballot paper because I couldn't vote for anyone I wanted to vote for. And so we are going to stand here in every election moving forward. We've decided that as a party. If we keep stepping aside, we'll never get anywhere, and we'll end up with a two-party state forever. In Brighton, some 20-odd years ago, it was Labour-Conservative battleground. Since then, Caroline's been elected 4 times in 4 different general elections. The Green Party's led the council on 2 occasions, and now the town's more of a healthy sort of 3-way balance. And actually, no party should dominate one town or own a town, but we need democracy in action. We need a bit of someone else to vote for, positively to vote for, not just because you like them slightly more than the one you hate, if that's how it works in Cheltenham. Certainly how I think it is in Cheltenham anyway. So just a message. I believe Cheltenham can become a 3-party town, possibly 4 if Labour ever wake up. Not sure that's going to happen, but we'll see. And that'll be a lot better for democracy in the town and give people a positive choice of where they can actually go and vote. Of course, one day we might get PR in this country. Who knows? Come on, Keir Starmer. One day we might get PR, and then, of course, we can have a whole rainbow, so long as we don't end up with a situation that's arisen in the Netherlands this last couple of days. Very scary, very scary. Anyway, back to tonight. Shortly I'm going to hand over to Caroline, who's going to inspire us with lots of positive issues, even despite the world is quite a miserable place, and Britain's a bit of a miserable place. And look at the Chancellor's speech yesterday. There's nothing for the environment. There's nothing to give us hope. Goodness me, they're awful. But we'll get some positivity from Caroline. Following that, Caroline and Jonathan are going to have a little bit of a sort of a 2-way discussion on some of the topics that have been brought up. And then we're going to have question and answers. So start thinking about those questions you're going to ask. We really want your engagement from the whole evening. And then after all of that, the bar gets opened again. And the bar will be open to about 10 o'clock, so don't go too wild. We are in a school after all. But yeah. So that's enough from me. I'm going to pass over to Caroline now. And please, welcome Caroline to the stage.